Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Alright, Lions fans, buckle up because there's some electrifying news that could reshape the landscape of the NFC North, and more importantly, dramatically impact Detroit's chances of bringing home that elusive Super Bowl trophy. We're talking about a potential blockbuster trade, one that could be a game-changer for the Lions' defense, and honestly, for their entire Super Bowl aspirations. And all signs point to a key player from Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson, being at the center of this buzz. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, another trade rumor. But trust me, this one has real legs, and it's worth paying close attention to because it could be the move that elevates Detroit from playoff contender to serious Super Bowl contender. Let's start by revisiting how the Lions finished the 2024 season, because it's essential to understand their current momentum. After a remarkable run that left fans dreaming of deep postseason success, injuries and some missed opportunities ultimately derailed their quest for a Super Bowl appearance. The Lions, under Dan Campbell's leadership, showed grit, determination, and a level of resilience that's rare in today's NFL. They finished the regular season with one of the best records in the league, and players like Goff, Hutchinson, and a rising offensive line made sure Detroit was a team to watch. But as anyone who follows the NFL closely knows, one or two key additions can be the difference between a good team and a championship team. And for the Lions, that missing piece might just be someone who can consistently apply pressure from the edge, someone like Trey Hendrickson. Now, let's talk about Hendrickson. This guy has been a beast for the Cincinnati Bengals, and his performance in 2024 was nothing short of spectacular. He posted back-to-back seasons with 17.5 sacks, which is almost unheard of in today's pass-happy NFL. That kind of production doesn't just happen by chance. Hendrickson is a proven game wrecker. Throughout the 2024 season, he appeared in all 17 games, showing durability, consistency, and relentless pursuit of the quarterback. He finished with 46 total tackles, defended 6 passes, and forced 2 fumbles. His ability to get to the quarterback was recognized league-wide, earning him 2 AFC Defensive Player of the Week awards, a well-deserved first-team All-Pro selection, and his 3rd consecutive Pro Bowl appearance. When you watch Hendrickson play, it's clear he's someone who commands respect on the field, someone who can change the course of a game with a single play. And that's exactly what the Lions need to push them over the edge. But the big question is, will Cincinnati be willing to part ways with him? Well, that's where things get interesting. Hendrickson is currently embroiled in a contract dispute with the Bengals. After his back-to-back dominant seasons, he's seeking a significant extension. The Bengals, however, haven't yet been willing to meet his demands, which has led Hendrickson to publicly state during minicamp that he has no intention of playing under his current deal. That kind of openness creates a window for a trade to happen, and Detroit should be front and center, pushing hard to make it happen. The Bengals are reportedly eyeing a first-round pick, which makes sense considering Hendrickson's production and potential impact. But the Lions, with their pick surplus and roster needs, could offer a package that's compelling enough to get a deal done. So what would that trade look like? Well, insiders speculate that Detroit could offer a first-round pick, which Cincinnati has been eyeing, along with a second-round pick to sweeten the deal. They might even include a familiar face, DJ Reader, who's a solid defensive lineman that could help Cincinnati maintain some interior strength during the transition. Additionally, there could be a conditional 5th-round pick that escalates depending on Hendrickson's performance or the Lions' postseason success. For example, if Hendrickson surpasses 10 sacks or makes the Pro Bowl again, the 5th-round pick could become a 4th-rounder. If Detroit makes a Super Bowl run, that pick could escalate even further to a 2nd-round pick. It's a flexible, incentive-based structure that helps make the trade attractive for Cincinnati while giving Detroit a proven star on the edge. Now, why should Detroit go all in on this deal? Because Hendrickson isn't just a good player, he's a difference maker. His relentless pass rush can complement Aiden Hutchinson perfectly, forming one of the most formidable edge duos in the NFL. Remember, Hutchinson had a solid rookie season, but adding someone like Hendrickson could push him to the next level, creating constant pressure on opposing quarterbacks. That kind of dual-threat pass rush could disrupt even the most potent offenses in the league, giving Detroit's secondary more breathing room and forcing turnovers. Plus, Hendrickson's leadership and veteran presence can be invaluable for a team hungry for its first Super Bowl appearance. His experience in high-pressure playoff games and ability to come up big when it counts could be the missing ingredient in Detroit's championship puzzle. Of course, there are concerns. Hendrickson is expected to seek a contract around $30 million per year, which could strain the Lions' salary cap. Detroit has built a talented roster, but locking in a player at that price limits flexibility and could threaten to sideline some future star players unless they make tough roster decisions down the line. Still, the team's window to win now is wide open. Jared Goff is in the prime of his career, and with rising stars like Tyleik Williams and Alan McNeil anchoring the defense, Detroit is well-positioned to compete at the highest level. The front office, led by GM Brad Holmes, has shown a willingness to make bold moves, and this potential trade could be the boldest yet. Imagine the impact of adding a player like Hendrickson. Imagine him lining up opposite Hutchinson, creating chaos for offensive lines week after week. The Lions could finally have that elite pass-rushing duo that transforms their defense from good to elite. That, combined with an offense that's already potent, makes Detroit a serious threat in the NFC. And with their recent playoff appearances, they've proven they're on the right track. But it's not just about this season. It's about setting a foundation for sustained success, and acquiring Hendrickson could be the key to unlocking that potential. Now, let's talk about the NFC North for a moment. The division has been a mix of rebuilding projects and surprise teams, but Detroit is clearly establishing itself as the team to beat. The Vikings have been fluctuating, Green Bay is still trying to find its footing after the Rodgers era, and Chicago is in the midst of rebuilding around Justin Fields. But Detroit, with their young core, innovative coaching staff, and now potentially a game-changing edge rusher, is positioning itself as the team to beat. This trade, if it happens, isn't just about adding another piece. It's a statement that Detroit is serious about contending for the Super Bowl and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could send shockwaves through the league. It signals to other teams that Detroit is not just happy to be in the playoffs, but is aiming for the big one. It also puts pressure on their division rivals, who will need to respond if Detroit's defense becomes even more formidable. The NFC is wide open, with teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys all in the mix. But the Lions are positioning themselves as a team that can match and even surpass those powerhouses if they make the right moves. And acquiring Hendrickson could be the move that swings the balance of power just enough to give Detroit that extra edge they need. But let's not forget, football is a game of inches, and chemistry matters. Integrating a star like Hendrickson into the Lions' defense would require some adjustments, but the coaching staff has shown they're creative and adaptable. Dan Campbell's leadership and the team's culture of grit and resilience could help bring out the best in Hendrickson, ensuring that he's not just a star but a true fit in Detroit's locker room. The fan base is already buzzing, dreaming of a defense that can dominate from start to finish, and this move could turn those dreams into reality. And as we look ahead to the 2025 season, the excitement is palpable. Detroit has a chance to build on their recent success, to finally break through that playoff barrier and make a deep run. The addition of a player like Hendrickson could be the catalyst for that breakthrough, an edge rusher who can turn games around single-handedly. It's a bold vision, but one that could very well become a reality if the Lions' front office is willing to pull the trigger. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes peeled. This story is far from over, and the next few weeks will be crucial. If the trade happens, it could be one of the most significant moves in recent franchise history. And if it doesn't, well, the Lions are still a team on the rise, with a young core, a passionate fan base, and a clear vision for greatness. But one thing is for sure, if Detroit pulls off this trade and adds Trey Hendrickson to their roster, we might just be witnessing the start of a new era. An era where the Lions are not just playoff contenders but genuine Super Bowl favorites. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Hendrickson could be the piece that finally pushes Detroit to that Super Bowl level? Would you be willing to see some cap space sacrificed for a player of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions organization. We love hearing your insights, whether you're excited, skeptical, or have other ideas about how to make this team better. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with even more updates, rumors, and analysis on the Lions and the NFL as a whole. So stay tuned, keep the passion alive, and let's continue to dream big for Detroit. This franchise is on the rise, and with moves like these, the future looks brighter than ever. Thanks for sticking with me, Lions fans, and remember, this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come.